Yeah, I think I'd like to try another attack at the Vulkan stuff, but also I'm kind of curious to try this one. Let's see how hard it is to get this working. It's got a decent guide, but we'll see if it's good enough. Yeah, it's got a tutorial. Try it out. And here it is. Let me get the link. Anyways, how you doing, Service Hour? How's it going? Frost Core. Hope the stream starts before I finish my breakfast. Maybe I made it. Calling it a day earlier than usual. Nice, okay. Doing how the client server in your game will go? Okay, cool. Let me just fix my audio, man. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's so low. Yeah, I'm having to do that. That's weird. Yeah, just periodically it decides that it's extremely low like that. Alright, I guess I gotta keep it. Yeah, really weird. Let me just adjust it down. Yeah. Okay, now I should be back. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get it to work. Should we try to get it to work on Linux first? That's the $1 million question. We'll see what we got for instructions. Let's get this up. On Mixu, Mr. Welcome. How's it going? Okay, let's get my code. Where my code? Oh. Okay. See, question. How does NVRHI, it's such a terrible name, fit in the whole ecosystem thing as opposed to something like SDL? See, yeah, I don't know where it fits. I don't know if it can make Windows, like if we still need like a GLFTW or something. I also don't know if it's like just some project that NVIDIA will abandon. Like in theory, it doesn't matter. You can just like, you know, keep using it. But I'm more kind of curious about how it works as an API. And I was also thinking, like, if it works really well and I kind of like it and I start using it or something, you can just, like, if they stop doing it, you just pull a mono game. Because this was XNA. Microsoft stopped distributing XNA, so they just took it and, you know, kept it going, right? So you can probably pull off the same thing, but I don't think there's going to be too many people using it, right? So anyways, yeah, I'm just kind of curious to try it out. It's used by like a bunch of NVIDIA stuff uses it. So I don't think they're ever going to get rid of it. So yeah, worth a try, right? All right, so let me see what we got to do. This might be let's try Windows, but I'm going to guess Linux is going to be better just based on the experience with you doing Vulkan on Linux. All right, so what are we dealing with here? We got a CMake. Okay, what kind of build instructions we got? Let's get the terminal over here. So first we'll try to get it to build on Linux and Windows, see how that looks. Viewed all the files. What's the license? Like MIT? Yeah, MIT license. That's nice of them. I mean, they're worth like $12 trillion. Okay, let's go like this. Yeah, Labricorn, how you doing? As long as it doesn't have a weird restrictive license, someone will keep it alive. Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting too because you can use DirectX 11, DirectX 12, and Vulkan 1.2. So that's like everybody, right? And works on Windows and Linux because nobody cares about OS 10. But I guess if it's on Vulkan, then that's phones and probably OS 10. So yeah, let's see if we can get it to work. I don't know. Do they have build instructions? Okay. Static libraries and CMake-based projects or as a single dynamic library. Add subdirectory. Whether you want DirectX 12 or Vulkan with these. So we could probably do a Mason project that does that. Generate, set the shared variable to on. And set it to a 64-bit one. Build and install as normal. Okay. Following extensions are supported. Linear swept spheres, opacity micromaps, shader execution order, single pass stereo, fast geometry shader with optional coordinate swizzling, conservative raster, HLSL extensions through fake UAV slot. Interesting. RTX-MU integration. What is this? What is RTX-MU? Memory utility library helps reduce and compact ray tracing memory for games. Okay. Oh, it'll be interesting to try this on my Linux box. It's got a AMD GPU. Okay, interesting. So do I need to use that or does it just use that? Okay, let's try just to build it. Just to get a sense of it. Interesting. So we'd have to set a different C++ compiler, different CMake lists. Yeah, thinking this to build like this is going to be a real pain in the ass. Yeah, Vulkan headers are missing. DirectX headers are missing. Yeah, it looks like Windows is not gonna be fun. Let's see what we got for options. Also, how do you set CMake options? I totally forgot how to do that. Oh, you just dash D? Okay, that's stupid. Okay, so let's do this then. On true. I think it's like you use any of these. So dumb. I wonder if I have the DirectX 12. It seems to think I don't. And then shared Vulkan. Well, I know I have Vulkan. I just need to tell it where Vulkan is. Let's try DirectX 12. We'll see how that works. Okay. Yeah, because I'm telling you to not do Vulkan, you stupid asshole. Oh, no, it's on by default. Okay. Oh, crazy. Yeah. You need to tell it where the DirectX 12 headers are. Let's try 11. I should have that, but I think maybe we have to tell it where it is. Yeah, we still have to tell it where they are. Also, I need to say what compiler to use. Yeah, interesting. No, this is going to be harder to do on Windows. Okay, so let's do no DirectX and with Vulkan on. And then how do we specify where the headers go? Coding in PowerShell? No, just editing this config file. It's quicker. All right, so there needs to be an option that says where to find the Vulkan headers. I have them installed. I just need to know where to tell it. Vulkan and HPP shared. Yeah, it was way harder. That's private. Okay, let me find this. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. They don't have a way to tell it for you to say where they are. It's kind of low class, actually. Like, why would you do that? Okay, let me see. Do they mention how to set? No. Yeah, so you can't set that from the command line. Yeah, that's stupid. Not sure why people make shit like this. And also I need to say, let's go back up here. Let's go on, off. All right, so we need that. We need the Vulkan headers. I also, like, totally don't... There it is, the Vulkan SDK. Really? That's what I have to do? Jesus. Guessing that one. I'm not sure how deep. I'm gonna guess we have to copy dot. It could be incredibly interesting how extremely well-paid professionals just have no concept of other people building things in other computers. So I have to actually literally download. I have to download this shit for you. Okay. All right. Well, let's go look. Is there just a single? Is there a CMake list? Alright, so we just got to check this out. Not sure why they can't do that, but okie dokie. But that will work. And there's like literally a GitHub submodule feature. It's not going to be duplicated. All right, we'll try it. Yeah. Jesus. Okay, maybe it works. Maybe. We'll see. Oh shit, how do you run Microsoft's bullshit? It's not, you can't just do make. Oh, if I type the word make. Yeah. Why do they do that, man? What's their thing? MS build. Oh, that's interesting. Is that actually going to work? No, .NET build wouldn't work. Hold on. Yeah, there's no way. Is it MS build? No, none of that shit works. Alright, let's look at their build. These aren't build instructions. These are like build notes generated from a fantasy of some dude who thought this was build instructions. Let me go look. Yeah, people just assume way too much. What is that bullshit again? Hold up. Dash build. Huh. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, I built it. Oh, and it built the DirectX 3D, 11, and Vulkan, all in one. Interesting. Well, let's see if we can get the full thing to work. We need the. Let's throw this up. So I'm guessing same stupid process. We go delete the directory. Where was the third party? Parameter. Clone that. on there. Build. Okay, so we built it. It works with, well, okay, I guess it doesn't work. Maybe I gotta wipe out the build directory and do it again. Or Microsoft Visual C can't handle. Weird. Why does it suddenly have to use so many like template libraries and stuff? Why does Vulkan constants trigger a DirectX 12? I'm guessing it can't do both then. The fuck? Okay, well, let's clean the build and we'll try it again. Oh, I have to. The fuck? Why the hell is the Vulkan ray tracing CPP having DirectX 12 include? Okay, so I guess you can do either backend. You can't do like mixed. At least with this. Yeah, at least with the with this compiler. What the fuck are they using then? Did they mention? I think in the tutorial they do either one. Yeah. Boom. Boom. So in that case, you just use Vulkan. Okay, so let's see if we can do like, let's disable Vulkan. Let's just see if we get a build. Okay, so you can, yeah. The wall of errors. Yeah, okay, so you can't do DirectX 12 at all. Jesus, man, why would you have your code do this? What the fuck? Is it literally syntax errors? Why? What the fuck is that? So this is this compiler just so old? Like it's Visual Microsoft C++ 22, I think. No, what do they call it? I guess we could try to do G++, but I feel like yeah, you just compile against Vulkan and it works. So like, fuck it, why would I even bother with DirectX 12 if you can't make this work? Yeah. So what's the I know nothing about the Microsoft compiler. I literally know nothing about it. CL? Nah. No. Alright, we gotta go here. Shockingly, the AI failed me. There's batch files. What the fuck am I looking at? Do people actually literally run batch files? That's actually kind of crazy. There's no MSVC command. It's just magic. Microsoft wants you to use their shitty IDE so bad that they make it so you can't run it from the command line. That's not true. You have to be able to run a command line. Let me Google something different. But it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see if anybody's got an idea. Eric, let's see. Just CL? No, yeah, there's no CL command. So yeah, it's not in the path, and it's getting picked up. Yeah, it should be CL, right? Well, we know Vulkan works. So maybe we can try to get an example. But no, yeah, so I have, what's the latest Visual Studio? Uh, 2022 was the last one they gave out. I don't want that one. So does this only compile with 2026? That's kind of weird. And I'm not sure why they would get syntax errors. I'm going to see those again. Use of class template requires class template list. Yeah, they just got a shitload of errors when they use DirectX 12. Let's look in this. No, it doesn't seem to have anything weird in it. Like I was expecting some insane let's look at include. Is there no include? Well, let's try this. That source. Okay, so source. D3, D12. D3, D12 backend. Okay, D12. Backend. Okay, that's the file. What line number? 907. If NVRHI D312 with co-op vector. Huh. So anyways, it must be setting some options that don't actually exist. So yeah, I don't think this actually builds. Okay, so go to build. Insert in your taskbar, typing x86 native tools. It should open a command with it in its path. So Microsoft people. Run command? Seriously? Do they also go start fires with rocks? Are you kidding me? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Alright, let's see. Is my Microsoft tooled? Let me see. Version 19, 2017. I'm pretty damn sure I have another one. It must just be picking up the 2017. So that would be way too old. Yeah, so this is most likely using probably C++ 20, 22 features. So I'd have to upgrade my Visual Studio. Oh, okay. I fucking swear I did that. Hold up. Hold on. Add or, well, we can also just like try to get it to use GCC, see what that's like. But let me look for Studio. Yeah, so I have 22. It's just picking up 17 on the build tools there. Yeah, I have 22. It's just getting the wrong one. And I probably have to remove these. Well, yeah, this is like from forever ago. Like, what the fuck? Okay, let's uninstall this. Compile commands JSON from CMake. Probably could. I suspect I may have to like totally. Yeah, the fuck is this? This is from forever ago. Last time I did anything with Microsoft tooling. So we'll try 22. We'll see if it picks it up. Yeah, I'm gonna bet I have some program I'm using that uses this version. We'll see. No, because I should also have the runtimes installed, so it should be fine. I shouldn't need the whole IDE just to run some program. Jill beats to download Microsoft stuff too. Oh, we're not even downloading yet. We're just uninstalling. Which, for some reason, takes forever on Windows. Like, it's literally just deleting files. Probably every byte it deletes, it has to look in the registry. Yeah, you thought this was a download? No. This is just... I want to remove some software. And then it also doesn't totally delete it. I think that's the other crazy thing about Microsoft system. Yeah, this is so slow you think it's a download. No. This is just deleting files. Anyways, how's it going, chat? How's life today while we're waiting for this? Anyone? I could play Kenshi. Or do some painting. All right, we'll clean out all these vile competitors. Okay, let's go over to Linux real quick. It's a kind of a shootout. I have this theory that Linux has become easier for game development. So part of this is testing, like, let's say you want to use NVRHI, right? Or Vulkan or DirectX 12, right? So NVRHI is kind of using those two. How hard is it to get set up? And so far it's like a pain in the ass, right? Like we have to download special headers to use DirectX 12, just like we do with Vulkan, which just blows my mind. Microsoft should just be like, this is installed on every operating system. None of this DirectX 12 bullshit. So yeah, so on Linux, the experience for doing Vulkan was cake. You just like compile, it was there. You didn't have to do anything. So we'll try the similar thing over here. And then we'll just check in on our friend. What the fuck? Okay. I'm telling you, man. If I was a project manager, I'd be like, why does this take so fucking long? What the hell are you idiots doing, man? End of the weekend, this needs to be as fast as any other system. Here's Mac OS 10. You just drag one thing to a trash bin. Here's Linux, just to remove. There's Microsoft. Okay, let's go source. NVRHI. I'm guessing it's still going to want the Vulkan headers, but maybe we'll get lucky and it's smarter. Let's see what we get. Let's fire up regular Vim. Check on Windows. Still going. Okay, let me see. We need cmake-d. We need this thing. Copy. Paste. Let's see if it detects it really well. I need to go equals on. We need the Vulkan headers still. Why are you using a build tool? I don't get it. You can tell the build tool, hey, where's the Vulkan headers? That's fucking terrible. All right, so Vulkan headers it is. Most likely, you would just include this in Mason or your own CMake, right? Check on Microsoft. Let's go back to Microsoft real quick. Okay, we also need to remove this one. Why do I have two of those? Anyways, back to Linux. They must be overwriting the disk bytes with random data for security. Yes, exactly. The VS team thinks 10 seconds start time is acceptable and nothing faster is possible. Really? I mean, 10 seconds isn't that bad for starting up. You all young people don't remember the era of Eclipse. Back in the day, Eclipse was what everybody used. It was the VS Code of the 2000s. And that shit would literally take 20 minutes to start. You would start it, and then you'd go get coffee, chat, come back, it still wouldn't be started. because it was all in Java. Java was slow. Computers are slow. It used tons of memory. They fixed it. Now Eclipse is like really fast, but back in the day, man. Ooh. Okay, well, first we have to do rm-srf. Git clone. Paste. Okay. Build. Now, I think it might still try to build DirectX 12 because it's not the smartest build setup. So let's try it. Okay. Maybe it figured it out. And then CMake. Okay, yeah. This builds a lot easier on Linux. All right, we'll have to see if it actually works. Okay, let's go back to Windows. Joy, fun, really cool, really cool. Visual Studio 6 started up instantly on much shittier hardware. Oh, interesting. Oh, we have an advertising starting in a few seconds, everyone. It's 3 minutes every hour, so feel free to take a break if you get advertisements. The startup time is slow ever since they switched the code base to C#. Interesting. Okay, well, we have a SO file. Now, most likely, I would actually... Let's go look. Mason wrap DB. I doubt it's in there, but sometimes you get lucky. NVRHI. Nope. Okay. This is a really good feature, man. It's one of the things that keeps me using Mason, despite its weirdness, is the ability to make wrap files and just kind of grab libraries and build them locally. Everything about it they fucked up, but the ability to do it is the main reason I use it. And also just, you know, way simpler than stupid ass CMake. I'm trying to see if there's like a... Oh yeah, I got actually looking here. Isn't there a test? I don't think we need that too much. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. All right, so let's make a Mason directory. So, all right, so now the only thing we have now is Visual Studio 2022. All right, let's get rid of all these. And there's that command that's gone. Okay, we don't need this. We have that. All right, let's try this again, but with a modern compiler. All right, so let's try the x86 native tool prompt for VS 2020. All right, CL version. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's a Microsoft tool, so something like that. But anyways, some weird options from the 90s. x86. Okay, so I'm assuming we probably don't need to run this. We just need to go here. No, we want source. And let's do this. Clean slate. Oh, CMake. Okay, so let's try the whole enchilada. Enchilada. enchiladas. Now I kind of want to go get some. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Nope. So how future do I gotta go? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Command list preview. Yeah, so there's just some stuff missing, it looks like. Is there DirectX 12 kind of too future or too behind? Is there a specific version that I need to get? Yeah, that's really, really interesting that it doesn't support it. You'd think NVIDIA would be on top of it, so. And then again, well, no, 2022 should be fine. Linear algebra does not support default int. C++ does not support default int. The fuck? Graphics command list preview is not a valid template type. Yeah, it seems like this type is missing. C++ errors, man. Branch conventions? Yeah, I'm thinking there's like a specific version that we have to check out for the DirectX headers. Again, this seems kind of weird that Microsoft's... It's like they're cargo culting Vulkan. They go, oh yeah, you guys have a headers project, so do we. And I'm like, yeah, you should just make it super easy to compile against DirectX 12 on Windows. Like, no need to download anything. Okay, DirectX headers. Let's do git tag. All right, so one of these, I'm guessing we probably have to roll back to, we can try preview or we can try v16. Let's try this. Okay. And here, let me boost the font so y'all can see it better. We're all in this together. We're suffering equally. Or you're just enjoying my suffering. I selected the x86 version. Oh, that could be it. Yeah. You have to do the 64-bit. But it works 32-bit with Vulkan. What? But they did mention that. Yeah. Okay, so it's definitely not that. I think you're right about the 64-bit. Let's go third party. Still, I'm pretty sure. Git checkout. Build. Okay, so let's go back to CMake. Okay, so we need this. Let me run it so I get that. Okay. What was the option actually? Let's use a Vim. What is that? Oops. Source NV. Okay, so there was an option. Build instructions here. I need to set. You set the target platform to 64-bit one. Oh, so that's just a generic CMake thing. You can't tell me what to set. Okay. Oh my god, man. Uh, 64-bit. Okay. Let's look. CMake, how to set 64-bit platform. Dash A X64. Like, dude, you can't just put that in your fucking instructions. Oh my god, man. It's definitely not gonna be that. Let's try it. Yeah, good call. Good call. Okay, clear that. And then let's CMake. CMake. Nope. What the fuck, man? Like, you can't test this shit? Or like, yeah, if I need a specific compiler or version or something, you mention which one. Yeah, that's insane. I can't use DirectX 12 on Windows. Watch, it's like a Windows 11 only thing. Yeah, it looks like this is missing. Preview. I wonder if you have to check out preview. Like, is that why would you set your type? Why would you set the type based on like a branch name? Like you're working on the API, so you set a bunch of things named preview. So then anybody who uses it has to change all their class names? That seems weird, man. And that's weird because then your API. What? Why would you do that? That can't be what they did. This has to be like you can preview the command list. Am I just wrong? Like they literally have. Hey, okay, we're gonna Google. We're gonna search for some of these. Hold up. Let me grab this. Okay. And we're gonna go third party DirectX. You grab -R. Oh, dot. It doesn't exist. Yeah, they're using preview shit. And then the API literally uses the name preview in the class. So then everyone rewrites their shit when it becomes official. That's really stupid. There's a lot of red, right? Version 17 preview. No. That's dumb as fuck. That's what they're doing. Can you imagine this? You get your game working, you know, everything's great. The Microsoft goes, yeah, okay, now you can stop using the word preview because it's official. Yay, change all your code. So you have to search through all of your code looking for this garbage and then remove it. That's nuts. That's fucking crazy. And they're macros? Wait, are they macros? They're macros. What the fuck is this? I'm surprised if Microsoft Visual C can handle that. Wait, really? Wait, we gotta look at this. Hold on. We gotta look at this. Okay, we're gonna need this to find one of these macros. ID3D12. So that's a type def. I hope no one actually wrote this. I hope this is generated. Can you imagine being the intern that has to write this crap? Okay, so let's look for, it was like specifically with like underscores. Yeah, there we go. Wait, why are you doing that? This LPV table to query interface? Why? Wow. What is that? Is this like a hack job? Like an object-oriented programming on top of C kind of thing? Yeah, it looks like it. This is probably some C struct, and then they have inside of it some sort of V table. And then they're going in and generating all of this. They're generating all these IDs. I mean, they have to be generating it. Although I wouldn't put them perhaps and sit down and write it. Like, look at these. That's crazy. Look at this. These are all macros to simulate C object macros. What? That's yeah, weird. All right, let's go. Let's see if it builds now. Not sure if we have to rerun that, but that's fine. Yeah, so that's the solution. Let's look at the build instructions, see if they mention that. Because I don't think they do, and that's a fairly important... Let's look at preview. Yeah, no mention of the word preview in their build instructions, so... Wow, man, what is up with programmers sometimes? They're just like, oh, you just link against DirectX. And then actually on their computer, they did this whole get checkout, get preview, tag, like this whole process. And it's just like, in their brain, it's, I just checked out DirectX. It's like, no, you didn't. You did like 50 other things, man. Yeah, okay, so you have to do that to get it to build. Yeah, boom, there you go. That's nuts. Hey, Comrade Soul. It must be auto-generated, which makes sense why they got the preview stuff. Yeah, it has to be. But then that also tells me they're going to change it, right? Because you wouldn't tag all those APIs with the word preview only in a preview branch, unless later on you're going to go, sorry, sucker. Those are now all changed. That's an incredibly bad design, like, and not quite sure why this project used it. Okay, so if you want to use this thing, yeah, the easier path is just to build it against Vulkan. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's really weird. But then, again, Linux wins, man. Like, we were done in like a few seconds with Linux. Not a few seconds, a few minutes, right? Only thing is we had to download the Vulkan headers, but that was it. And like, we're done. It builds. No weird shit of like finding DirectX and getting the right version. Yeah. Hey, Enskin, welcome back. Oh, Sam, let me see. Not a program, but JJVCS. Which one's that? Oh, the Jujutsu thing. Yeah, we could give it a try. Lock. Let me find it. Now this guy. Let's see, written in Rust. Yeah, we can give it a shot. Weird. If apt has it, it's most likely going to be really old. No, it doesn't have it. Okay, yeah, we can give it a shot. Okay, so that's the experience building NVRHI. Let's see if we can do a Mason project that does it. And then, let's see. Let's go back to Windows real quick. Because it seems like the recommended way that you should use it is to actually put the NVRHI library in your build and do it statically, right? Because it seems like they have it set up that way. So we can make a little Mason project that loads it up with a wrap file and see what we can do. Okay, so that builds. Let's see. Probably what I can do. Okay, let's see how hard it is to get this to work. Let's copy all my gear. Okay. And let's copy the wraps over as well. That'll get us kind of started. Now, I don't think it handles window primitives and stuff. I'm kind of curious how you do that. Let's get some airflow going. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. It looks like I don't need any of this. I wonder how the NVRHI handles the memory allocation stuff. Okay, so let's strip this, strip this. I don't know if you need GLM. Probably not. So let's get rid of that real quick. We can bring it back later. And do we need VK Bootstrap? Yeah, let's get rid of VK Bootstrap. Okay, so in theory, we don't need... Maybe we need STL2? No, let's just strip it all. Yeah. Yeah, let's get rid of it all. Okay. Okay, and then let's got Go on the brain. Okay, that should give us a basic with no dependencies. Oh yeah, here we don't need these. I don't think so. I'm gonna predict we have to bring those back, I think. Maybe not. Man, maybe not. Huh, interesting. Okay. Okay, let's get this to build. All right, Jujutsu. Okay, so let's do, you know what I think I'll do, Sam? I'll just try to use Jujutsu here. Is it something that you can use on a Git repo that exists, right? Let's see if we can do it just like here, so that way I don't destroy my Git repo. Yeah, let's do a fresh. So we'll try fresh. And then maybe what I'll do is, I'll make a backup of, let's say my game or something like that, something I have, and then we'll try it with that. Yeah, I'll just use it for the rest of the session. Right? We'll see how it works. I'm kind of curious too. Let's go see what they got in install instructions. All right, so slight detour. We're gonna go try Jujutsu. Kind of get a look at. We're getting a look at multiple things at once. Like, how is it to build with kind of modern graphics APIs between Linux and Windows, and then how Jujutsu works. Okay. Installation. Okay, let's see. They're pre-built binaries. Cargo bin install. Okay, let's give that a shot. No such command bin install. Is that a thing I have to install? What's bin install? All right. That must be a thing I have to install. Let's see if that works. Seriously? It's like that meme. Wake up, babe. Rust just dropped the new compiler. Gotta upgrade everything. I bet there ain't a single fucking thing in Rust 1.89 that JJ uses. Everyone who does this is like, oh, gotta upgrade the compiler. Like, are you using anything from the new compiler? Okay, then you don't have to upgrade. So now we gotta upgrade Rust. Let me see. Let me see, is it update? What's the magic? Hold on. It's like update self or something. Now that makes me wonder, what do we got on Linux actually? Rust version 192. So it would work better on Linux. All right, we'll give a Linux window a little bit more shot, but yeah, it's looking like we should switch to Linux. Build, check, init, remove, bench, update. Oh, rust up is probably what I gotta do. Rust up. What we gotta do for rust up? Okay, rust up, update. Is that it? You lie. Yeah. Oh god fucking damn it. I thought I removed that piece of shit. Didn't I do that? What the fuck? I removed that. I totally did that. This is like, I did, but god damn it, I removed this. Am I gonna have to go into add remove programs? I totally removed that. Did I just do it on Linux? Is that the deal? I must have just done it on Linux. No, it's not removing it. Oh my god, man. Jesus. Nothing pisses me off more than like when I tell a computer to do something, it doesn't do it. No installed package. How many of these do I got, man? I'm like walking around with 50 Rust installs. It's all you all's fault. Make me try Rust over and over again. Okay, we'll get this removed. Then we'll be on 192. So I guess 189 is not too unreasonable. I thought 189 was like a brand new version. It's pretty far behind. All right. I really can't put up with Windows. Yeah. I think it's very interesting that most of the modern languages just completely sidestep system install. They just set up a bin directory in your home and they're done, right? And I'm glad they figured that out. I'm glad they figured out they don't have to be in the OS for people to use them. Because it was really annoying. You get these like Linux distros that would, you know, they take all these languages and carve them up and break them and remove things that they shouldn't be removing. You know, the advantage of Windows was always that if I install Rust, it's all of Rust. If I install Ruby, it's all of Ruby. And then you go over to Debian and they're like, well, Ruby has 42 different projects. So if you want networking API, you got to install the Ruby net. And it was just like, just why? You're just a bunch of assholes. Just let people install the language. So now most languages that I see, they just have their own bin directory and their own location. They don't try to get installed in the OS. And honestly, it's just the way you have to do it. Like, you have to sidestep the OS. Otherwise, you run into this shit. Yeah, so Python is, well, man, Python's basically owned by Microsoft now. So Makes sense that they're doing that. Yeah, Python's like a great example of the old way that you did it. You try to install in the OS and then people have to have like switcher programs, let them use different versions, and yeah, it's just a fucking nightmare. Just don't even bother. What the hell is this thing doing? Is it trying to talk to the network? Hold up. It's trying to phone home. I'm gonna deny that shit so hard you don't even know it's like so hard. No, okay. No, it's just Windows shit. Alright, we're gonna have to close that. They had to add an extra file if you try to uninstall with sudo in the etc directory. The Python has an extra file if you uninstall with sudo? What? I've never heard that. Wow, man. Wow. I couldn't imagine. All right, so let's just wait. Just every time Windows takes a while, we'll go over to Linux. Let me see. Let's get their install instructions. Installation. So we're assuming that this binstall thing is a new thing. So let's go ahead and do that. So what the fuck is binstall? Like, is that a project you install? Why would you do that instead of just this? What's the advantage of this thing? Oh, so it downloads pre-built stuff. That's fine. We'll just build it. Okay, let's copy that. All right. Okay, we're gonna see. Is Windows done? All right, so we're gonna see if this will finish before Linux is done building the whole thing. So it's user Python 3 externally managed file. When you try to install a package with sudo, that was their fix. Weird. All right, it's Rust and its famously kind of slow compiler versus Microsoft and its famously really slow uninstall. Is it like waiting for me to do something? No. It's just low, man. That was their fix. Okay, so oh no. No. Come on. I hit a key on the Windows side and I bet that canceled the uninstall. Okay, no, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. So now let's do Windows. Fantastic. Okay, so now we need that. This. Okay, let that run. Linux. Okay, it is installed. Okay, let's see if we can get some info out of this with JJ. Let's see what we got. JJ log. Okay, it looks like this is a Git repo. You can create a JJ repo backed by it by running this. JJ git init. Okay. Writing submodule. The following remote bookmarks aren't associated with existing bookmarks. Run the following command to keep local bookmarks updated after your pulls. We'll remove git clean-xdf remove.jj. Why do I have to do that instead of... Huh? Is it hooking into Git or something? Oh, they were using Git submodules. Then why didn't they just say to do the God damn it. Anyways. Just go with submodules and you get it. Like weird. Okay. JJ help. What do we got? Absorb. Move changes from revision into the stack of mutable revisions. Bisect. Bookmark. Commit. Config, describe, diff edit, duplicate, edit, evolog, file, fix, Garrett code review, git help, enter diff, log, meta, edit, new, next, operation, parallelize, rebase, redo, resolve, restore, revert. Simplify parents. Okay, sparse, manage paths, split a revision into squash, status tag, undo, unsign, util, and so on. Okay. It doesn't have a steering engineer, which I thought was interesting. And it has undo operation. Interesting. Status. All right. That's the working copy. That's my changes. Clearly not Vim users. They don't ignore Vim junk. Okay, so let's see if we can do... Let's try to use it on learn NV. The fuck. This thing. Okay, what we'll do is that. Okay, let's go back to Windows. Okay, on Windows, we are going to I'm guessing JJ. Oh, it exists. Nice. So now, let me see. Okay, so next what we want to do is let's go look at the instructions. Getting started. Okay, so I'm guessing JJ get init to get started. Okay. JJ status. Okay, not bad. Does it? It most likely respects git ignore. Okay, so we can just ignore that for now. Nice output. Okay, got it. Then let's say, let's change this music. Wait, wrong one. I know you all like the lo-fi hip hop, but I know it's holidays too, but it's not Christmas. We're gonna play this crap on Christmas. This song is called Ugly Sweater. Let's do something a little bit better. Kind of really like this deep house, no lyrics. Instead. Okay. So we're going to get a build working. There, that's a bit better. Deep house. Exactly. I mostly like it because there's no risk of holiday music. House fans do too much meth to be into holidays. Okay. UI default command log. What's up with people just not making decisions on their software? Just like, yeah, have some sense of design, man. You make the decision. I'm cool with that. Here, let's just be fancy. There we go. He lets us do what we want. Fantastic. Okay, so let's confirm that build. Okay, we got that. Now let's make a wrap file. That's a good start. Okay, cool. Let's look at the version. Okay, we need that. Paste it, and then let's go here, directory. I'm guessing just, is there a version number? Let's look at I love how there's this hamburger shish kebab menu here, and it doesn't have any of the things that show up when you do that. None of this shows up. No releases, none of this. It could all be in this menu right here. All of that should be in the menu when you're in small mode. I'm guessing they don't have any releases. Doesn't look like it. Any tags? No tags. Okay, so it's just whatever version they have. Yeah. No tags, no releases. Okay. Is there like a version number we can see? Kind of weird. I get the feeling that they just kind of treat this as their own thing. Like it's their own personal release instead of like as an actual product they put out. Okay, so we do NVRHI version 1.0, whatever. Okay, then in the Mason file, we add it. And this is where it gets a little bit weird. Where is an example of... Yeah, let's grab this. Now, because their build... because they insist on using submodules with like dependency bullshit, I don't think we can automatically build it. Yeah, I think their non-standard weird-ass build system is not going to do it. It's the problem with CMake, man. Everyone just does their own shit and it doesn't work. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, now let's go look at... Okay, we should be able to grab these. And I believe Mason will set that, the architecture. Okay, so we want this. No, this is false. So yeah, I might have to include the Vulkan stuff in this build. Let's do false there. Okay, we'll get rid of this. This should be true. What's interesting is on Windows, we could also just go DirectX 11 and it would still work. Okay. Oh, that's right. All right, we'll see if we get this to work. All right. That's bullshit. There's no way that works. That's total bullshit. Huh? Oh, yeah. We got to add it to the dependencies. Okay. Oh, no, we're missing another part. Let me look at the learn Vulkan Mason build. Oh yeah, this weird ass. Oh man. I guess NVRHI project equals CMake.sub project. The RHI options are NVRHI ops. And then NVRHI equals RHI project get variable NV and then put NVRHI. Terrible. You know, it's really interesting because I use Mason and all these other things to kind of simplify things. And you just run into where like everyone that uses CMake just does shit totally differently, right? But one of the things that they'll say is, well, why don't you just do what everyone else does? And I should start replying, why don't you do what everyone else does? Like, nobody else is doing GitHub submodules and checking in the CMake file to confirm that you have the proper version, right? Like, we're all supposed to be doing the one thing and only one thing, then why do you CMake fans always do something totally fucking different, right? Alright, so this is definitely gonna fail. Like, it's definitely gonna fail. Yeah, same. And there's no way to tell it where to find the Vulkan headers. Yes, you wouldn't be able to automate building this. You'd have to be able to tell Mason to run a pre-command on it. I'd have to make my own Git checkout, which is just disgusting. Yeah, I'd have to make my own a fork of this in my own location. How do you get init submodules? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Get initialize submodules. Cool. Let's just blindly trust the AI. That's how you do it. So if we can tell Mason to do that, then it should work in theory. Okay, but we can just come in and do this. Okay. Interesting, interesting. You're living my nightmare with build repos. It is. Hey, the bot, how you doing, man? I mean, I kind of get a kick out of it, but my motivation for doing this typically is to call bullshit on people who say this stuff is like easy to use, right? Because typically this is what you run into is like, you know, hey, these NVIDIA folks, they don't do release tagging. They don't have, you know, they're doing sub modules. That's not mentioned. You know, it's just like really, really sloppy, right? Or we're going through VK guide. We get about halfway through and then the project that he's depending on just decided to change everything and nothing compiles anymore, right? That's the kind of stuff you run into when you're an author. So I spend a lot of time confirming that builds work and that build things operate and how you actually do builds. Because when you're trying to teach people how to do this stuff, that's what stops them, right? I can't continue with VK guide because fast GLTF just totally fucked everything up. And I got to email the author and be like, hey, I think you got to get off this project, man, because like that dude just does not give a shit. And so that's the thing, right? And it also kind of highlights the other problem that, you know, I have with open source people. When you look at the fast GLTF, right? It's really obvious that the author is using it more as a resume than as a project to release for folks. So you don't really want to depend on anything like that, right? And because there's like things like whatever version of SIMD-JSON he's using doesn't compile anymore. You have to use the most recent compiler ever. And in the source, there's like all these APIs that totally changed. Like, so if you want to open a file, it's now like, what is it? Let's go to the header file. Anyway, so the API completely changed in this kind of weirdly arbitrary way that doesn't actually make the API any better. So it's mostly, he's just in here sort of dorking around. We can find it. Yeah, he moved header files. So now instead of parser, there's core. And if you look for, yeah, this changed. So both of these changed from load binary GLTF to load GLTF binary. Completely arbitrary. There's like no reason for that at all. And then he's got slapping no discard on stuff and using expected. Like, it's just every feature of C++ that's new. So it's resume, right? And I try to avoid resume projects because, you know, cool, all right, you did that. You're going to get a job doing that. But like, I don't know. I mean, if I want to use your thing, I want some docs, you know, I want to be able to use it. And I assume it's not going to change in 2 months when you got to get a new job. And I think just in general, the people who do this kind of resume project, they sort of don't get that if you're wildly changing the APIs and you don't document stuff and you're just more proving that you're kind of unreliable. So it actually works as a really terrible resume. They sort of don't get that. They think what gets you hired is your skills in C++. Look at all the cool C++ shit I'm using. And you're more likely to get hired if like your shit's rock solid. There's good communication. You tell people when things are changing. You have good documentation. That's really what's going to get you noticed, right? Like, hey, we work on this thing and that shit never fails. That dude's really good about fixing bugs, right? So anyways, yeah, just kind of this point of pride, like, yeah, don't just wildly change APIs for no reason, right? Like swapping words around doesn't really matter, right? So anyway, so yeah, like, and then also just from a learning point of view, if the author of VK guide is using this, but there's another library that has like better documentation, kind of like, you know, if his documentation is just a reference of the Kronos group shit, then even though this may be faster, or maybe he believes it's a better API, what's more important is the person reading your guide can go and read the better documentation for another project, right? So I think that's more important. Like, yeah, great, cool. This thing is using all the latest C++ features and it's fast. But if there's another library that's really easy to use and a lot of people are using it, you can get help and stuff like that, that's the better library to use, right? So anyways, yeah, it's same thing with this, like just kind of weird, non-standard sort of like setups, having submodules, not telling people about the submodules, no release tagging, so you don't have any idea what version you're using. Yeah, interesting. So I can kind of hack around that. Okay, yeah. And then we just have to do... Let's do DX11 false as well. All right, so let's see if we can manage this one with JJ. Okay, so we got NVRHI working, and it works with Vulkan. Let's just stick to Vulkan because I have that. And then let's use JJ to manage this, and then see how this builds on there. Okay. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Oh, it literally doesn't do anything. So we're probably gonna need like SDL2. Shit, man. I see, Free Advocate. I agree with you, but the sector is crowded with people who work on venture capital stuffed projects and show-off devs. Backward compatibility is not on their agenda. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And then you have like fake GitHub stars. People look at your GitHub stars to see if you're popular. Yeah. Which makes everyone put their stuff on GitHubs, and then Microsoft has juicy code for their tools, their AI. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to extrapolate how you do NRVH or the way you do Vulkan with SDL2. Okay, so it mostly builds. All right, let me see. Let's copy the learn vulkan.git ignore. Let's see here. I don't ignore subprojects? Really? Really? Huh. Oh. JJ ignores get ignore. What? Why would you do that? Okay. That's really weird. Okay, so it must be tracking. Do I have to do that with every file? The fuck are you talking about? What? So if you craft a list of files, you have to manually go in and untrack shit. I mean, that's a hard stop right there, man. That's just fucking obnoxious. No. You can just safely eat a bag of dicks at that point. Like, what are you talking about? I'm manually telling you to untrack it and I have a perfectly fine list of shit to not track? What are you talking about? I'm... What? What are you talking about? No. Oh my god. Why are programmers so weird, dude? Why are they so weird? Alright, look. I want people to be weird, right? I want people to be weird, okay? That's cool. That's how you get progress, you get interesting things. What I don't want you to do is be weird while pretending to be normal and invite a bunch of people to use your shit. So you make a command line tool like this. Ooh, it replaces Git. Come try it. Please come try it. Oh, haha. Tricked you. It's weird as shit. That's what's really, really annoying. Now, here's the trick. Will it ignore so it ignores new stuff? Let me just make sure there's a... Yeah, there's a swap file. What the fuck is that kind of design? So it like scans what you're working on. So if you make a file, if I understand this process right, you make a file and it's not yet in your git ignore. You need to like add it to the git ignore. JJ will pick it up. Then you add it to your git ignore. Then it ignores your git ignore, which is ironic. And then you have to untrack it manually instead of JJ looking at your git ignore and just untracking it for you. What the fuck? Okay. You just came back? Yeah, so basically we're using a tool called JJ, and it has this thing where like if you have a git ignore, it'll use it. But if it already saw a file before you added it to the git ignore, you have to manually untrack it. So I had to manually type these two commands so it would stop trying to add those files. Okay, so that builds. We don't have a window. We're gonna have to use SDL2 probably, but and we're probably gonna have to link to Vulkan on Windows, but that's more or less a build. I just don't know how to tell. I have to look at a way to tell Mason, hey, run this command inside here. But let's see if we can get something. Does it do get ls files or something instead of get ignore? I got no idea. And it's just whenever you run the command, it seems to pick stuff up. But we'll go take a better look at it. Yeah, we're just gonna try and use it today, see what it's like. Hello Linux. All right, let's go see if we got the same thing. I could just use the numbers. While I'm doing all that, I'm like, wait, I just use the fucking numbers. Okay, so now let's check this process. Okay, so we do this, we do that. Okay, so we run it once. I could put that in the script. And then we go here. We run that submodules command. Oh, yeah, I gotta remember how I do that. What is in this directory? Let me try this actually. Okay, we have to do that and then this. And then this again. No, then we have to do this. Right, look away, kids. Okay, it'll work. I promise. This is why you don't do this. Like, if you're going to do submodules, you go grab them yourself, make it an option. Okay, let's do the reset. Oh, that's right. Bash is trying to help me. Hey, Tweez. End in 30 minutes. The fuck are you talking? There's no pop-D? Is this that stupid ass Ash? Oh my god. Fucking Dash. Why doesn't it have pop-D? I don't get it, man. Why are people so fucking weird? Okay, there we go. We'll just do that. Try that again. Freedom to customize everything. Exactly. Debian had too much money in donations, so they decided to make their own fucking shell. Whoops, sorry. That is my very loud desk and not an elephant attacking me in my office. Okay, so why does it fail? Oh, no, yeah, I have to do this. All right, the price of automation is you got to keep running this over and over until it works. It sounds like an elephant, doesn't it? I need to get some like special oil to oil the legs, but I don't know. One day I'm going to be lowering it and it's going to fall on my legs. I'll be in the hospital for 4 months. With my brittle old man bones. Right, but I am into this. As fun as it's fun to do it. So we gotta set a goal though. Otherwise I'm gonna do this all day. Let's go through we'll go through the tutorial and see if we can just get like the window that they have in the tutorial up and running. Well, this will hopefully be the last time we have to do this. Okay, now let's look at the tutorial, kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with. And when I get it working, I think what I'll do is I'll use JJ to manage it. I would like something that's easier to use than Git, but that first design decision, man, that's just, yeah, just really weird. Okay, we need, okay, tutorial. Okay. We'll use Vulkan. Now the swap chain variable holds a reference to the swap chain texture. Create a frame buffer to render into. A GAPI independent except for different shader formats, okay? So you make a shader. Okay, text coordinate. I wonder, I don't think it handles opening a window. I think we would still have to use SDL2 to get a surface of some kind. Maybe it does, or GLFW. Right, so you create a resource. Add in a texture. Fill in the resource data, drawing the geometry. Yeah, this looks like just like kind of a, I don't know, like kind of the way Vulkan probably should have been done. They have ray tracing support, dispatching the rays, conclusion. Okay. Let's look at one of these donut samples. Let's see what they got. That looks reasonable. Like I don't see how that'd be bad, but this does. So this is the problem with this kind of code is when it's these little choppy sections. It's not like a complete example. You know that there's like another 1,000 lines of bullshit that makes this work, right? So yeah, anytime they do this and so on, right? That's probably like 50 billion lines right there. All right, let's see if this builds. Oh, why is that taking so long? All right. Am I being throttled by GitHub? Or just like a random network error? Okay. Twitch is tweaking. Let me double check it. I keep saying you have to verify your email, but it's already verified. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right. So Linux build is working. It doesn't really do anything though. Yeah. So we just have to get it to load a window. Kind of lame, but I guess that's what you got to do. When people are being weird. All right, so if I can figure out how to tell Mason to do that, then I'll do it. But that means we have a basic build right there. All right, let me go. Yeah, I guess I'll utilize this. Who wants log to be their default? I guess that's probably why he makes it so you can change it. I get the impression maybe the author's kind of odd. They like to see the log while they're working for no reason. I wonder if my file changed, JJ log. Oh yeah, it changed. Okay, so now let's go look how we commit JJ. How do we do that? Okay. Okay, show me the changes and everything. So let's say we want to edit README file. Okay, so you kind of front load it. Does it have -M? Okay. JJ meta edit update author. So what? Now I gotta set my name. This should just have a config command. It asks me questions with, you know, the super advanced technology of prompts. You know, that really difficult to use for anyone doing the Unix way of programming. Yeah, literally, you could have asked me 2 questions. I could go JJ config. It goes, what's your name? What's your email? You want me to set that for everything? And then done. Instead, I ran meta edit twice. I had to set my name. Weird. All right. Okay, so working copy. First commit of a build that has backend. Okay. So you say what you're working on ahead. I actually was working on a revision control tool back in the day that worked like Vim. So you had to say what you're about to work on, and it grabbed a snapshot ahead of time. So it looks like that's what JJ is kind of doing. But mine was that's more of a lockstep change. Okay, so now creating your first change. Make the change to the README. To see the diff, do JJ diff. Okay, diff is pretty big. What kind of diff is that? Those are just added files. Okay, weird. Rotato. Sorry I haven't stopped by consistently. That's fine, man. You don't have to keep coming by. Everybody has a life. But I have 2 weeks off school. Oh, okay, nice. Are you gonna work on any code or anything like that? Each change to the working copy commit amends to previous versions. So have you told Jujutsu that we're done amending the current change and want to start working on a new one? That is what JJ new is for. That will create a new commit on top of our current working copy commit. The new commit is for working copy changes. So let's say we're now done with this change. We can create a new change. Okay. So that does the commit, okay? If we later realize that we want to make further changes, we can make them by in the working copy and then squash. So you can, okay. Behaviors similar to git commit amend, okay. We can use JJ edit to resume editing a commit. Okay. You have to say a specific commit. All right, and then we're back to there. Okay. But then new saves the commit. Okay, so do I do JJ new to complete it? Okay. Let's edit something. Let's do this. Okay. And then that puts it in the previous commit. Okay, interesting. So now if I do Alright, so let's say okay, I was thinking the log would show those changes, but it doesn't. And if I do JJ, it shows that I modified that. Okay. Let's see. You're going to restart Bracky's Godot game engine tutorial. Oh, that's cool. I haven't heard of this one. People have mentioned it a few times, though. Oh. I commit that as a parent, not included in the graph. Okay. Weird. Let's see how JJ deals with merge conflicts. Start by making some commits. So you can kind of get a list of where you've done off log. It's not running a process, right? So like every time I type a command, it kind of keeps track. Okay, well that was very useless. No, yeah, okay. So every time I type a command, it kind of tracks what you did. All right. So then you can do a log of what you've changed and then do JJ undo to undo it. Okay. Moving changes between commits. All right, so things get a little more advanced than I'm probably going to need. So we'll just stick to the basics. All right, so you do describe, do your work, new, commit. Then we just have to figure out how you use JJ to push to a directory or to a remote thing. And Rotato. Then I'll probably start to learn GD script a bit, but the tutorial is basically make your first game in an hour with some free assets. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. And I recommend, like, when you do the tutorial, do two things. So the first one is try to recreate the tutorial from memory. So take notes while you're doing the tutorial, right, on what you did. And then don't look at the tutorial using just your notes. Like, get rid of your project, start over, using just your notes, try to recreate it. And if you can't, then go watch the tutorial real quick to figure out what you need to do and make more notes. So don't kind of find like gaps in your knowledge and stuff you don't know. And then once you get it working again with from your memory, get in there and start making changes. So try to make it do like new stuff, add new things, just see how far you can push it. And using that tutorial project to kind of learn as many things about it. And then while you're doing that, you can pick up GD script and kind of work the project as far as possible. Because I think what happens, a lot of people do tutorials, right? And then they get to the end, they go, cool. They move on to the next one. And that's, basically what they describe as tutorial hell, right? But if you take a tutorial and then you kind of like push it as far as you can and then try to make your own thing, and then you're out of it. Okay, so we got that. Now, NVRHI. All right, let's see if we can get a window up and running. Okay, I'm not sure what is up with graphics programmers and this like gnarly ass style of setting configs, but let's there's like 50,000 lines of code between this and this. They're like, summarized. Let's even get this to compile. ... Yeah, dudes, you can do this, man. You can do this. It's time. It's time to just kind of like stop with the weird. Like, not even C programmers do this anymore. This is like, come on, man. Boom. Done. I guess it's a global, but maybe you can move it into there. All right, so let's see if that will compile. I doubt it. I'm missing just a mountain of shit. Oh yeah, totally. See, you need a message callback. Okay, let's do this. We're going to do, oh, we also need to change the semicolons to commas. G message callback. Well, that's, hopefully that don't crash. Yeah, you need this. You need this. You need that. You need that. Oh. So does it do like none of that for you? So you still need to have all that Vulkan VK builder code. Oh, that's so gross. Why couldn't they just do that for you? Is it really that hard, man? Wow. Yeah, so none of this should work. Yeah, you need the Vulkan device, the Vulkan graphics queue. I mean, I got the code to do that, but I'm kind of like, I don't know, the point of this abstraction layer was that it doesn't have to do that. Like that was what I would make an abstraction layer do. Yeah, weird. I would expect the folks from NVIDIA to be able to pull that off. Okay, so let's go see if we can get a sample. Where is the example they keep mentioning? Donuts. Where's your donut sample? They've mentioned the donut sample, donut framework. Okay, let's look at donut framework and the samples. So this is kind of like interesting. So this is like a little graphics framework. And it has like all the pipelines and stuff configured. And a bunkload of code. Let's see what it needs. Okay, definitely not a lot. Its own JSON-based scene layouts. Render. Well, I think if you want to learn to use this thing, that's definitely probably what you have to do. Where's the samples? I'm going to guarantee basic triangle. Okay, so the samples, the samples for NVRHI are not samples that just use NVRHI. They're samples that use an entire rendering framework in another project. Wow, man. Cupertino. Let's see. I don't get why they force you to manually create device and swap change for each backend. NVIDIA has another RHI called NRI that does that for you. The funny thing is that NRI is much lower level than NVRHI. Can you combine them? Could you like steal code from the one that makes the backends for you and then switch to, yeah, you probably could, right? You could switch to NVRHI. Well, VK Builder will do that for me. I can get the devices and stuff. I think it's so weird, right? I agree with you. It's like, I mean, are you trying to make it easier for folks or like... But now I'm kind of curious about this donut. Yeah, this is like, oh, it's using inheritance. You know, this is going to be like all the C++ that is ever C++. Let's see, native file system. They're using their own virtual file system thing. I got to get device command. Create a shader. Back buffer resize, animate, render. Okay, so it doesn't look like they use like SDL2 or anything. They just kind of have their own graphics. This is really intriguing. It's really interesting, right? Because I'd be kind of curious to see how this donut framework is, but it could also be just kind of too much, you know? Yeah, so they have code for the device manager that gives you a device. And then the device manager has create window device and swap chain. Yeah, okay, let's look back in the in here. And they have no examples in here. Yeah. All right. So you have to go look in the donut. All right. Maybe blog post time. They could have a single scene API, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the device managers steal it from donut. But I feel like that's sort of like a thread. You pull on it and the whole blanket unravels, right? Like, oh, device manager. But then that requires 42 classes in a hierarchy with a depth of 20, you know, it's like kind of what always happens. But I mean, it looks like it's a hell of a lot easier to work with afterwards. I have like, you know, just mostly it's curiosity. I don't feel like I'm gonna use it. Provides a collection of reusable and somewhat extensible rendering passes that can be put together in an application. It's simple for loading a scene and maintaining its component graph. I mean, I feel like if you want like the better option is just use donut. Just fork donut and then work on that. Learn everything that they're doing. So let's see. Let's take a quick look at probably core. Chunk VFS app. Device manager. Joystick manager. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you could probably just mess around with Donut. Like if you want to play with NVRHI. Yeah, okay, so they're using GLFW. All right, so that solves that problem instead of SDL2. Oh my God, look at all that code. Create window and swap chain. Add render pass to back. Remove render pass, back buffer. Yeah, it looks like if you grab the device manager and pull that out, then you've kind of got that code. I think this is probably the meat of it, really. Yeah, I think this is probably the main part. Okay, so let's try Donut. Let's see if we can get it to build. I am curious. Yeah, let's just do it here. Rotom White, let's see, question. Do you have a good, free, easy game maker? Do you want like a tutorial or something, or like a game maker game? Oh, God damn it. Okay. Init all the submodules. I don't know if Donut works really well. It could be a really good study project. Kind of like just, you know, that's something that folks have asked me about, which is like, how do you learn a new project? Like when you get a new job. Yeah, just go through Donut and see, like, learn how NVRHI is used, but we're just using Donut. Okay, make their build, cd build, cmake. Okay. xb common, xkb common, app search. Fucking Debian, dude, man. libxkb common dev, librust xkb common sysdev, librust xb common dev, libxb common x11 dev, libxb common x11 0. All right, time to play Guess the Debian library. We got another advertising, my friends. So 3 minutes. Feel free to go take a break. I actually will probably go dump my coffee cup out. So I'll be right back right after the break. And then we got another whole hour to get Donut to work. Okay. Okay, I'll be right back. It's the final ZA shot. Hey Shader, how you doing? We're doing some graphics programming. You might be interested. We're using some NVIDIA APIs. Okay, so Donut compiled. Interesting. Can we do... So then I'm guessing... Okay, so this worked. Can we get ourselves... So this will show how to do kind of a build with it. Okay. Zossi, not downloading stuff is a tough restriction. Yeah. I mean, you could probably goof off quite a lot. What about Roblox? Is Roblox in browser? Is that's an app you download, right? Yeah. Maybe both? Yeah, maybe. It does both? Interesting. That's a good way to do it. You can also put it on your phone. Okay. Yeah, interesting. So the viewer is probably in there, but I wonder if the dev environment is also on the web. Energy Star. How much of the stream is left? Well, I'm going to get Donut to work. But I do think I need to end it probably before the end of the hour. And we got to do a little bit of painting. So if this works, we'll do some painting. And then I think that'll be probably the end. But now I'm kind of curious, like how this donut framework works. It might be interesting to study it. And specifically how they are loading the devices and stuff. To make that work. All right, cool. Where's it put the results? Are there no programs that get built? The fuck are you talking about? Was it CMake files? God, CMake is so weird. A dot out. What are you talking about? Does it? But the fuck, man? What is going on, dude? Oh, and then a Windows guy has been hacking on this, so everything has executable bits set on regular files. What did it make? Is there just like, you have to configure it to build the examples? Why would you make a project called Donut Samples that doesn't build the samples? There we go. So you go in the build directory, but it puts everything in a directory above the build directory bin, but you have the build directory. That's where the build is, but the build's not there. The build doesn't go in the build directory and goes in bin, but you gotta have a build directory. Jesus. Okay. Bin, basic triangle. Hey, look at that. 4,000 frames per second. Neat. Let's try, what's another one? Feature demo. Okay. All right, loading some textures. Let's go down here. What'd you miss? Not much, potato. We cannot find a binary after successfully building your scenes exactly. Oh yeah, this is that that classic example. It's pretty good. Keep in mind the GPU on this little mini computer is not that powerful. Let me see if I can find a good position. Do I have motion? I have to use the scroll wheel. What Neanderthal came up with that shit? Let's come down kind of like right here. Okay, that'll let us look around. Okay, so what do we got? Deferred staging. Let's do stereo. Animations. We can change all these things. Light probe, SSA. Shadows. No shadows, shadows. Translucency. Material events. Map pass. Shadow map. Bloom Sigma. First person. I wonder if you can change the data time of day. And this is, it looks like it's ray tracing too. You have to see how inside the dark areas it's actually visible. MSAA 8. Halton. R2. Man, it's doing pretty good. White noise. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Let's see, Mango. Just curiosity, why aren't you using the shell inside Emacs? I'm not running Emacs. In almost every other editor, I would never use the shell in the editor. They're always like not as capable. But Emacs is the one editor that probably has a great shell. I bet Emacs, they're very well known for replicating the operating system. So yeah, I think in Emacs I probably would. But no, I'm using Vim. Right, so what does deferred shading do? I can't do that. Reload. Oh, we have a bunch of scenes too. Specular test. Yeah, that's pretty slick. Specular poof. Kaboom! C++, baby. I get a phone call and quick and I come back to this. Yeah, there you go. No, that's fine. That's fine. Sponza, I guess, is that thing. Yeah, SegVault. As usual. That's kind of like when I was making fun of graphics devs. How like if you have two monitors and you alt tab and the whole thing, the game crashes. Right? I'm like, why do you crash when people have two monitors? So the response I got, it was the operating system. I'm like, yes, the operating system is making your game crash when someone has a second monitor. Sure. Windows, Microsoft is like, you know what? Fuck those dudes with two monitors. Let's crash their games. Like, no, you're not reading an API wrong. You're doing something wrong. Oh, okay, interesting. So it doesn't, you have to do that to get it to render. Okay, so let's see how long that actually takes. Hold on. Yeah, they got a couple little bugs. Oh yeah, it's instantaneous. If you just move the window, it works. Okay, so this is the environment. Frames. Yeah, like 40 frames per second. I expect that's decent for the GPU that's in this thing. It's a mobile, a tiny little mobile GPU, so that makes sense. Let's see if we can crash it again. Sheen test, sheen cloth. They got a lot of examples. GLTF embedded metal rough spheres. Right, so this is metal rough spheres. Yeah, so we can mess with these options. Sky parameters. So you can kind of make it dark. Let's try another one. Glass vase with flowers. Oh, slick. Yeah, 60 FPS with that. That's not bad. Let's see if we can get a nighttime look to it. How would we adjust the parameters? Let me see. I'd do that for the horizon. And that's more like not nighttime, more like a dead sun. Yeah, you'd have to be able to alter the direction it's in. Okay. Yeah, so that's some clothing. I guess a corset on a mannequin. That was pretty decent. Let's go back to... It's a helmet. Where's a Sponza? Feels like I can't move it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can move it. Is it like still loading this? Does this seem like really huge or something? And what's up with these boxes? Okay, so that one's broken. Yeah, that one's broken. Yeah, some of these you can't move, which is really weird. Kind of defeats the whole point of... And yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is doing, it's doing ray tracing. Okay, cool. Well, that works. Oh. All right, I think that's a good study project. What are we trying to crash? We're trying to crash the this donut sample. All right, let's play around with maybe one more. Let's do particles. Oh yeah, that's some lag right there. It is doing a lot though. Yeah, because everything is reflective. Yeah, really interesting. It's so sad that everyone's working on this stuff at NVIDIA, and NVIDIA like doesn't give a shit about graphics anymore. They're entirely all about the AI. Oh yeah, that's some high quality rendering right there. Okay, so this one's probably buggy. Yeah, that looks like memory corruption. Yeah, something's up with that. What's the other one? Let's see. Let's do threaded rendering. Oh, that's weird. Is that on purpose or? Very cool. All right, let's do a little bit of painting. An unrolled cube. Well, it's that one Sponza model. And then I guess showing like the 3 directions you can look down with a thread. I'm not sure. All right, everybody, let's close this session out with a bit of painting. And tried JJ too, so yeah, I think it's the right direction, but I think that weird I have to untrack stuff manually is just not a go. I'm just not into that. All right, the camera, the painting. Because there's times when you make junk and stuff like that, and then you have to edit the git config, and then now I've got to edit that thing, and so I think I'd have to use it for like a while. I got a winter sale. I may have to check that out. All right, where's the green bottle? Okay, we're gonna do 10 minutes of painting. And then I think I need a nap. Okay, so what are we working on? Probably maybe try to refine the label. Couple edges there. Yeah, okay. Rotato, yeah, still the bottle. I just keep working on that until it's pretty close. Okay, so we need this one. And actually, I can probably do that. Clean that up a bit. Okay, now this. Let's do the label more. Kind of close, but it's more like that. Yeah, more chroma. Yeah, it's pretty dark down there, yeah. I'd say actually this is kind of more there. And probably comes up. That. Doing those edges is going to be a real pain in the ass. Okay, now down here, let's clean up this. And it's like slightly darker. Is that about right? Yeah, it's pretty close. Right here. It's actually kind of like that. It's a little lighter through here. And through here when the bottle gets thicker. And then it's like slightly lighter. Thinking like that. Yeah. It's like through here. Okay, let's clean up this lower part here. It's gotta be more crisp. Oh yeah, trying to get like a nice curve is pretty difficult. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now the shadow. It's a little bit darker right through here. Along here. It's really not a shadow, it's basically a, I don't know. What's a shadow that goes through glass? I'm sure there's somebody who studied physics and knows what that is. And then pick this and go just a little bit. The game I'm making, Broad and White. Yeah, I can show you after we're done. Got 50 seconds. So let me get some art in. Yeah, god damn it. Okay, so now this is going to have to be kind of modulated like that. Oh, it's pretty bright. Now, you know what, I'll just grab that, kind of get a reference. And then it's kind of like, so that's the end, but let me get this shape in. Is that it? Not really, yeah. That's about right. It's kind of... Okay, so then it's like... I almost kind of want to do... Yeah, I definitely want to do that. That's what I'm going to do. And then let's do... Not close enough? Nah, not close enough. It's not that again, is it? Yeah. So we'll definitely probably have to blend that. It's gonna be tough to get like those edges like that. So basically if I do this. That'll help. But I'll undo that. We'll try to do the real painting. Let's see what it looks like far away. It's getting closer. Just the shadow thing. Yeah, that needs to be blurred. And the bottle is bent. I need to move the bottle. Weirdly, the bottle actually is bent. It's so strange. But in the other direction, so I did that totally wrong. Okay, so let's do a little demo of my game.